Folks, if you watch my daily financial news every morning, you have seen we have started to talk about something called random act of kindness. What I want to do here is really tell the story of how this came about, how the platform of Twitter and how Kristen really empowered me to reach out and say, "Hey, I want to keep helping you do good." Kristen, how you doing this morning?
Right, thank you.
So, I don't know if you even know the story. So, obviously, I am a follower of you on Twitter. I follow you because you really bring real life, right? You are a waitress at a restaurant. You tell some
I
very
am.
funny stories of real life with customers, some sad, some funny, some frustrating. I
Hmm.
like to say you live out loud. You just tell it how it is. You
Yeah.
are who you are, and don't care. And I respect that. And sometimes I need a laugh, and you provide that for me. Along the way, you have told some stories where you had to come out of pocket. I remember a
Yes.
story where there was a couple that came to dinner. They had $40 to their name. You knew they were going to be short. You covered that. You told a story about a young man on a date who, for whatever reason, his credit card declined, and you covered that. Now, thankfully, that ends okay because he comes back. But I see you doing this, and
Yes.
I just think they're awesome. And I'm like, she shouldn't have to do this alone, right? I'm going to try to reach out to her next time she posts one of these stories and say, "Hey, here's a couple of dollars that you can use at your sheer discretion to make somebody's day." So that's kind of how all of this started. Is that how you recall it coming down as well?
Yes. And I was thrilled. It made my day.
Yeah. So do me a favor. Let's introduce you to my audience, because what I've learned from your channel, not only are you a waitress, but you served in the military. You are a mother of a 6-year-old, I believe. And you got a home with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at a crazy low interest rate. So lots of things that are important on my channel. So lots of stuff to celebrate.
Yes. He's 14, but
Oh, he's
yes.
14. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
That's awesome. So for your mom to a 14-year-old, how long did you serve in the military?
I was in for just over 8 years.
And what branch?
Army.
Army. Very, very cool. And you're in Texas, right?
Boston.
Austin. Why did I think
I say
Texas?
Army.
Army. You're in Boston. That makes a lot more sense. It's like, why do I think Texas? Anyways, so you're in Boston. Um, so
I've been to Texas for training, but yes, I'm in Boston.
then the other thing that I've learned since this random act of kindness is you've actually been doing this for years on your own. So this
Yes.
this random act of kindness is not new to you. You've been doing this on your own and leading by example for your son. So talk about, you know, not everybody does stuff
So
like this. You're unique.
I mean, I've done it since I was a kid. I grew up with not much. And I thought as a kid, be the person that you needed when you were struggling, whether it be financially, however, whatever it was, be that person that you needed. That doesn't mean take care of everything for somebody, but it means, it doesn't mean getting stepped on, obviously, but it means, doing the small things that help people out. Someone at work is struggling, give them a quick hug and grab them by the shoulders. It's okay. You're gonna, whatever, and then let them have a few tears out, and then they're good. And that means taking care of a small bill, taking care of things like that. So then during the pandemic, when it was really bad, I remember seeing the videos of healthcare workers, the struggle that they went through. And I follow follow some nurses. I follow different type of healthcare providers on Twitter, and some of them would post pictures of their, of like marks and just from wearing masks. And I have a good friend who's a doctor in Texas, and she would show me pictures of her personally every day, where how bad it is. And then she's in Texas. People would come in with guns, like on the older shoulder. She's like, "What do you need a gun for?" Like, so I felt bad for people like that. Then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do a random act of kindness. I started one time with my son, and we bought like McDonald's. I got like, I think, 25 burgers, 25 cheeseburgers, and then I went to the store and got lots of soda. And I just had the bags myself and brought lunch into them. And I was wearing a mask, or both wearing gloves, my son and I want him to see this and then to
Yeah.
see the reaction. So, of course, when I got there at XYZ hospital, local hospital, I
Sure.
get there and they're like, "Oh, do you have a patient here?" I'm like, "No one that needs 25, 50 burgers."
Yeah.
No, no, no. And she's like, like, who do you know? Like a coworker. And like, no, trying to get it through someone's head in a nice way that this is just to be nice. It's for you guys. She was
Yeah.
like, she's going like, what? I'm like, I don't know how to say it any differently to you. It's black and white. One and one is two. ABC are the first
Yeah.
three letters of the alphabet. This is just to be kind to you. This nurse who's bringing someone out in a wheelchair is like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I 100% swear to God, nothing crossed. This is just for you guys. Divvy it up how you see fit, whoever needs it the most,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. And she was like, this lady's like almost in tears. We give her, the elbow bump and let her go. And so she's like,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Then I'm like, seeing that reaction, I'm like, you know what? So then, I'm like, "We're gonna do this again." Then, to another hospital, like 2 towns over, I did it for them. This time it was pizza. I got, like, 5 pepperoni, 5 plain, 1 5,
Yeah.
vegetable, whatever it might have been. Whole bunch of sodas, like, by Domino's. Had them deliver it. So I called the hospital's front desk and asked them, like, who's the point of contact? And I told them what's going on. Again, they were like, what? And I said, it's just for you guys. I did
Yeah.
the same thing with Mass General Hospital. That was the hardest one because Mass General's in Boston. I mean, I'm outside of Boston. Mass General's a big, and that one I spent like $350 on. The other ones were less. And that was a lot more money because it's a bigger hospital. And Domino's is like, are you paying? I'm like, I'm paying for it. And I
Yeah.
tipped him. I understand. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I just thank you for what you're doing. So Mass General, I had to talk to like administrators to actually get through to them. And they were like, I said, I don't care if they leave it at the front door and then people like
Just grab it.
drag it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, however it may be. So then, and then my girlfriend's hospital in Texas, the girlfriend I was telling you about, I surprised her, had him
Oh,
delivered there. So I started with that stuff, and then, that's how it started, like the
yeah.
biggest stuff when and then of course over Christmas, I'm not rich, but I'm not poor. I live in a decent area. I wanted to show my son about helping homeless, giving gift cards out and giving
Sure.
like McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts gift cards out. And then and we went to like Walmart and got packages of like socks,
Yeah.
hand warmers, and toothbrush too, and just a little. I guess we call them
Yeah.
a ditty bagger type thing. So ditty bag type thing. I got like 100, quart bags, whatever, and then we just spent an hour or two just filling them,
Oh,
and then
nice.
I had to go outside. I didn't do 100. I probably did, 30 of them. We had to go travel probably, half hour to find homeless people. Someone on Twitter told me a little bit north in Lawrence, Mass. That's a rough place. Lawrence is rough. So, I mean, of course, I didn't go too late at night, but my son and
Yeah.
I went, and he was like, so I, just made him stay with me, whatever. There's like tent city out there. There's
Yeah.
like tents near homeless shelters. There's just too many homeless people. I'm like, he's never seen a homeless person. He doesn't even know what it is. So I
Wow.
said, all right, well, let's learn, let's see. And giving the bags out and the little gift cards out, the homeless men and women, whatever, were in tears. I'm like, this is what we do. So we
Yeah.
handed a whole bunch out and and then left. So my son has now seen some of it in action. And now and he was with me the other day when I gave them out at the local store, just a couple different, gift cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he was like, you know, so it's good for him to see that, but that's how it started during the pandemic when that's when
Yeah.
I amped it up, and then recently I'm like, you know what, I'll do more.
Yeah. The random act of kindness thing. Again, it's really funny. Like when you did the about the cheeseburgers and the pizza, you had to convince them this wasn't a scam or some other alternative. They were
Or
like,
I didn't
this is
want
not
anything, or I
normal.
didn't know anybody. Yeah,
Folks, we should have more random acts. It should not be a surprise that most of us are very good human beings and we want to help out fellow man. Um, so can we tell people what your Twitter handle is? Because you are posting pictures and stories of random acts of kindness. What is your Twitter handle?
absolutely. It's Jeep Girl Kristen, can't stand Trump.
That's okay. It's all right. It does political biases doesn't matter. Random act of kindness is a random act of kindness. Uh,
And recently, I helped out some kids that were Trump supporters. They were like, and I said to them, if you go on Twitter and you follow me and you say things that I'm not fond of, in the sense of like if you bash the left side or whatever, if you like promote Trump, I'm like, you can do that. I will block you. I said, but we came to some type of agreement that and that kindness happens no matter, you can be kind no matter which
exactly.
side. I'm like, just because, they were like, oh, the left is bad, blah, blah, blah. But look what this leftist just did for you guys. I just
Yeah.
comped your bill. They're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And they were nice. And hopefully maybe that makes them think more on the, on the
Most
generous
of
side
us
instead of
live in the
bashing.
middle. It's the left and right that are very loud. Most of
Yes,
us are in the
yes.
middle. Yeah, yeah.
I'm in
But
the middle.
yes, exactly. But again, if somebody wanted to follow you on Twitter, you could start to see pictures. And I love the fact that you get pictures. We've been doing this now a couple of weeks. Why don't you talk about the story of the couple? I think it was yesterday, might have been the evening before, where you comped her bill and she left you a nice note. This you have a sixth sense for helping the right people. That was an amazing story.
So they came in towards the end of the night. They were very sweet. The fact that they were considerate enough to, she was saying like, is it too late? Is it okay? We'll make it fast. That attitude alone made me like, no, 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 come on in, you're good. So and immediately we got along with each other. They sit down, the sweetest pie. They're like, take your time. And of course I joke when someone says take your time, and I said, be careful, I might. And so they laugh, I laugh, everyone's happy. And then so then eventually through a couple things I'm not going to mention, yet, but
Yeah.
there was another table of jerks, drunk guys, and these two went along with my story. I said this girl was my daughter, and she's not related to me at all. I don't have a daughter. So so then I said, you know what? I'm doing it to her. She's good. She deserves this. So I sat down with her and I said to her, so I do this thing. It's a random act of kindness. And both of them are completely confused. Um, and then I said to them, I'm just gonna I'm gonna take care of your bill. When I do it, I put an X on their bill, and I say it's all set. And I said, you can tip me or not, it doesn't matter. And
Doesn't matter.
you don't have to, because it's you've already done that, Mike. So I said, but you do, I said, there's no obligation, you just, the bill is all set. And she was like, are you kidding me? And they both like, wait, why? I'm like, because you're nice people. That's why. And I said,
Yeah.
also, I think this random act of kindness, you might pay it forward. And
Yeah.
that's that, and like, oh my God, yeah, we will, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, great. So I took the picture of them, and then I go out back to do a couple things. I hear they go out the door, and I'm clearing the table. As I clear the table, I grab the slip, and in the back of the slip, it has this note. And of course, I read it really quick, and the note says, um, the note says,
Oh, you have it.
oh, I took a picture. I do have it. Anyways, the note says, this random act of kindness made my day. I found out today that my grandfather was diagnosed with cancer. I've been in tears all day. And your random act of kindness just, makes the world a better place. And so,
Oh.
like I said, I called her my daughter at one point because those jerk guys. So she said, thank you, new mom. Love, Crystal. I'm like, oh my God. So, of course, as a mom, that touches me. I run out the door. I chase this girl. They're still in the car, and I go to the side of the SUV, and I'm like, "Hi, Crystal." And so she gets out of the car. I'm like, I'm not sure if I should. I'm like, I offer her a hug. She comes over, hugs me. I'm 5'2", she's 5'7". She towers over me. So I give her a hug. This girl cries on my shoulder again. I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
I'm so sorry that happened to you. And I said, I'm so grateful that I made you smile from the inside out. And she said,
Mm.
I promise you I'll pay that forward. I'm like, that's awesome. So stuff like that. She is my favorite case so far that I've done this with. People like her make
Yeah.
it all worth it. That's what makes me do this.
Yeah, and I love the fact you take pictures, you post the stories. That's why I follow you, because again, you live out loud. Just it is what it is. And I love being just a very small part of it. Again, something else that has already started is people that follow One Rental at a Time have started donating as well, right? We've got a couple of people who have said, "Hey, I
Yep.
want to be a part of this. I want to add funds to this random act of kindness." So if you are a One Rental at a Time fan and you want to be a part of this, first give her a follow so you can see the stories. But also, you can send it directly to me, my PayPal account. I will get it to her. And if
Please.
you don't know how to do that, we can work that out later. But yeah, random act of kindness. I love putting smiles on people's faces. I'm going to be into this for at least $1,000 once this is all said and done. But again, I'm hoping other one rental at a time fans pitch in so that we can do a lot more of these. Kristen, any other kind of closing thoughts on random act of kindness and how others could just put smiles on strangers' faces?
If you wake up when there's anything you could be, if you could choose kindness, that makes a world of difference. Choose We're all humans, but when you can choose kindness, do it. If you walk by someone, just smile, say hi, something like that makes the world a better place.
I couldn't agree more.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much,
doing what
Mike.
you do. Thank you. Take care.